All righty, good people, man. Welcome back. Hope you missed us. If you didn't, it's okay because it's good to have a week and a half without some football. Is your boy Vel. I got
And
my
a
man.
Z. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You in the zone with V and Z, man. We brought to you by Good Vibes and by the city of Buffalo as we continue
For
to
some reason, bro, you said that, and my whole body was like good vibes and Hennessy. I'm like, wait, chill. That's past life. That's
yeah,
past life. I don't know why that just felt like coming out.
yeah, that was the 10, 12 years ago. But now we good though. I think like most Bills fans, everybody needed a week off to kind of regroup. And I think the
The
players needed it
team
more.
needed a week off to regroup.
Yeah, I'm about
I'm
to say,
good. Them
I'm about,
boys need the week.
yeah, the players, the coaches, everybody in that facility probably needed a week off, even though I heard, from McDermott, he said he was itching and twitching and all of that to get back to the
Yeah, I'm sure
film.
that boy slept in that office.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. Which we'll get right to. I mean, this is not going to be our longest episode. So, Z, I'll just say, man, how was your last week and a half without football though, man? I mean, without Buffalo Bills football, I should say.
Man, it's whatever, man. It's whatever. It was nice to still have, some stress-free football. Stress-free Sunday is always good.
Yeah.
Again, it's that time of year where you got some of everything. You have MLB playoffs going around. NBA just started, but for me, hockey season was rolling, so
Right.
it was a good timing. Started the sports week, and it's good to be able to sit down and actually catch other games and see what
Yeah.
the rest of the league is looking like, and see what we really got in store. Because it's real easy to get focused on your team and think the world is falling.
Yeah,
And
fake
then you
scout.
look at other teams like, oh yeah, them boys got some flaws too, just like our team. So it was good just to catch some other football though.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel likewise. I mean, it's always tough because like you want to go into a bye feeling good about your
Oh,
team, feeling
100%.
great, not feeling good. You want to feel great about your team, right? You know what I mean? Like that's just natural as a fan. But like you said, you look around the league, man, you see the flaws, you see the teams that might have looked like they were on the top of the mountain 3 weeks ago, are now going in the opposite direction, right? And then you see some teams still looking good, like the Indianapolis Colts. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of a lot of stuff going on around the league. Um, but since we didn't get a chance to touch on, and we'll do it very quickly because it's now a thing of the past, the Atlanta game. Now that some time has passed, what are your thoughts coming out of that game?
It's Jekyll and Hyde, man. It's a completely different team from one half to the next, especially defensively. You get gashed left and right first half, and then the second half you give up 3 points. It's like, yo, which team are you? Are you the team where you can, scratch and claw and look decent, or are you the team that's giving up 8 yards a carry? It felt like. So like it's just, if you can't stop the run and then can't stop the short pass, then you kind of got nothing. The way this team is set up right now, they're not doing what they need to do on the front end. It's not even necessarily the D line. It looks more like a linebacker secondary issue from a second level standpoint. And then, coverage wise, given these massive cushions and people are just dunking you to death, and then you're not tackling on top of that. So, it's just a recipe for failure. And then the offense, you know, should be able to bail your defense out. If your defense looks bad but still hold a team to 24, I should still expect to win.
Yeah,
It's plain and simple. Defense need to get their shit together. Offense needs to get their shit together.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on the Atlanta game. It's been a couple weeks, but being there, I will say first off, shout out to their stadium being raw.
Oh,
Uh,
that shit is amazing. I never been on the inside, but I've been like right outside it. Man, that joint is crazy.
yeah, shout out to them having a raw stadium. Great entertainment. From Jeezy at halftime to
I
Bow Wow.
wish.
Yeah,
This makes me get so mad at you. Said Baba was there too.
yeah, man. They had everybody there at Bow Wow, Ti, Jermaine Dupri, of
This
course.
is all during halftime.
Nah, just in the building. Like they was just like putting them on the screen at times. So like, you know what I mean? Big Tigger was doing like their entertainment throughout the game, like being in
He's
the
so
crowd.
trash.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but they not like Atlanta. I mean, and I had a brief conversation, before I talk about the game. I had a brief conversation with some people, and I'm just like, that was a real Atlanta
Right.
snapshot. But for those
Yeah.
who don't know the culture out
100%.
there, like that is a
That's life.
it's that's us out there. Like, you know what I mean? For the black folks, I'll just call it what it is. Like Atlanta is us. And I know we got a good portion of our fan base, especially who go to the game. They go to Nashville and they feel like they're at home when they're in Nashville. They get good food, good country vibes, all that. For us, we go to Atlanta and we like, oh yeah,
It's
I'm
the
going.
Mecca.
Yeah, hip hop. I mean, we down there.
Yeah. And we get
So,
the damn Buffalo Stampede during these games.
right. And that's funny you say that real quick because they had a band playing, but it wasn't the band. They had our type of band playing through like the concourse. And our concourse ain't so big. Just imagine a band coming through in the concourse, 30 minutes before the game start, just like on they shit. So like it was a great snapshot of like what other stadiums and like what other fan bases kind of do. I give their fan base credit because even though we were about, I don't know, 25, 30K deep, they still brought the noise too. And obviously it helped because their team was playing well. But to their credit, man, they did what they had to do. They was trying to get some reactions out of some of us. Me and Dennis, we got a little bit, but it was healthy because they noticed that I wasn't just going to let them just be like, hey man, take that bill stuff off. It was like, oh, hold on, man, let me turn around. How y'all doing? First off, my name is Velpo. Now I'm playing. I ain't introduced myself, but it was some good stuff going back and forth. And at the end of the day, they respect the loyalty of us because Bills fans, we gonna travel. Listen, we
Anyway.
gonna we gonna say what we want. We gonna do what we want. And if we take an L, we gonna take an L. Ain't too many Bills fans I saw out of there like ducking really smoke. It was just like shit, y'all. Salute. But like I said, salute to their fans because they was able to chant and yell and do everything coming out of that stadium because it was like, yeah, take your asses back home. It would have been the same thing we said had motherfuckers took over our stadium. Like, nah, 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 nah. Hey, get your ass. Start the cars. I done did that to people before in my section. Like,
Oh yeah.
please start your car. Like, I'm pretty sure you want to beat traffic. So, we was getting some of that. But as for the game goes, I think you really, you said it real quick. I mean, it's just like, you got to decide what you want to be. And I think that the identity question that was asked the other day to McDermott is a real honest question because I think with guys coming in and out of the lineup, and then when you got a bunch of different guys also in your starting lineup, we're not bringing back the same 11 from last year on both sides of the football. I think offensively, more so, yes, that's 95% of that unit, outside of Josh Palmer, who got out there early, with the injury. But like defensively, I'm looking at the unit. I'm sorry, I'm freezing up a
Are
little
you
bit.
good?
Okay, hold on, remind me later. Hold on. Okay. I'm looking at the defensive side, and I'm looking at Cole Bishop as a full-time starter at safety. I'm looking at Shaq Thompson still getting acclimated back there, but still doing a hell of a job. I'm looking at Joey Bosa out there. I'm looking at a couple other guys out there, and I'm just saying, y'all just don't look like one unit back there. And Tre'Davious White, we know he's not the same corner he was 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm proud of how they bounced back in the second half defensively. It's just for me, I walked away more disappointed and not only the laps that we had in the first half, just collectively, but like when we had opportunities in that second half to not be able to punch that ball on 3rd and 1 and get the 1 yard, just get the 1 yard, right? The quarterback sneak, which we said we got to get back to doing. I don't care what name you want to call it, the tush push, the Josh Allen push. I don't care what you call it. We used to, for the most part, be able to get 1 yard 95% of the time. And then we know what happened in that Kansas City game in the playoffs. And what I've talked about, and I might have said it on here before, is like hopefully that didn't traumatize Joe Brady, Sean McDermott, and Josh Allen. Hopefully they didn't walk out of that game in the playoffs saying, "Nah, we're not doing that next year. We're gonna take this out of the playbook," because I've only seen them run it once or twice this year. I know I've seen them do it at the goal line and get Josh across for a touchdown, but like whether it's at the 50-yard line, 30-yard line, when it's 3rd and short, 4th and short, I just want to see my quarterback go ahead and just use his 6'5" body and get that ball over that line and let's go to the next play. Point blank, period. I mean, you got one of the biggest quarterbacks in the NFL for a reason. Use him and let's go to the next play. So that was one of my observations there. That 3rd and short left a bad taste in my mouth. James Cook usage, obviously, in the 4th quarter. was a problem that it looks like it probably got addressed. But now looking forward, I'm just saying, can we find that identity on the offensive side of the ball where we kind of go into each game knowing, okay, well, James Cook going to get his 15 to 20 touches regardless. He's going to get his touches in key moments, because I'm not even caring about the 15 touches in 3 quarters. Get that man at least 8 to 10 touches in the fourth quarter. Shit, I need my man to have the ball in crunch time, not on the sidelines jogging and just, looking at the sky like, yo, I'm the second best player on offense. Get your man on the field. So those are my quick observations. Like I said, I told myself I would not dig too deep into that game because it is now, a couple weeks past that. But looking forward, especially with this Carolina opponent coming up, I want to see them make some adjustments offensively, scheme wise. Let's get the ball into some space with Keon and Khalil, and let's get some shit shaking. I can't watch them struggle with an MVP quarterback and an all-pro running back. I can't. Nah, 14 points. I know the Falcons have improved defensively. They fly around. They got young dudes.
Not that much, and not to the point where this team should be scoring what they scored.
Exactly, 14 points. I don't care what injury we had on the outside. You cannot let a Josh Allen and James Cook led offense score 14 points like that. Not when you were given opportunities. That's a coaching thing for me. And you can say sometimes players, I know we point fingers at Keon back again. Fans back doing that. Oh, Keon, Yeah, y'all can blame Keon and whoever else y'all want to. I look at some of the guys that we got, the skill sets that we have out there, and I know we miss Kincaid, and we can draw up some better plays, and we can make some better decisions on some key downs to be in better position. But I don't want to go too deep. But looking ahead, man, what are you looking for most with either the reinforcements or offensively? Are you looking for a change in the game plan? What you looking forward to most in this next matchup with Carolina?
I want to see. I want to know who the Bills think they are. Like, who are you? Are you a team where they feel real timid to me? Like they tiptoeing around, not really know what they want to be. Like the first handful of weeks, the best thing that you did was put 3 tight ends on the field, run the ball down team's throat, and throw off of that. And they have not been doing that the last couple of weeks. So, like, who are you? Like, identify yourself. Like, what you want to be. Your 2 best players are your quarterback and your running back. And these last couple of weeks, I feel like the ball is not in either one of their hands, even though Josh touched the ball every play.
Yeah,
like you're not utilizing the talent that you have in front of you, and then it's like, yo, the defense just need to man up at this point.
Yeah,
like you letting teams bully you. You looking bad in these streets. Breaking off 80-yard runs multiple times in one season, and we 6 weeks in, yeah, bro, that's not a good look. Mm-mm. And you got 2 good running backs coming in this week. Show me you can stop somebody. Show me that you can actually play some bully ball. Often show who you are. You got the best player in the world on your team. Why are we scoring 14 points? Why do we seem like we scared to throw the ball down the field? You have this unicorn with this amazing arm, and yet we don't try to push the ball down the field. I've seen worse quarterbacks and worse receivers get schemed open all over the league. You telling me we can't figure out how to get an athletic receiver open, whether Coleman's the best separator or not? We can't scheme him open?
Exactly.
We can't find a way to get him into open space? Yeah. Shit, we look against the defense against the Bills. We got receivers running left and right wide open. You tell me we can't figure that out?
Yeah. Same thing with Elijah for me. Like I agree with some fans saying it'd be nice to add a dynamic, speedy receiver to go down the field and all that. But like Bills have not proven, especially in the last few years, that even if you give them a speed guy, that they still know how to use that speed guy. I mean, outside of when John Brown was here and a little bit of Emmanuel Sanders, like I have not been able to see, and we talking not 4 or 5 years ago, but like I have not been able to see, especially on the Joe Brady's offense. I mean, look at MVS last year, and I'm not saying he is speed demon. He came here for 2 to 3 weeks. We could not get him the ball, period. Then he goes to the Saints or whatever, and he get like 3-4 long balls. And we looking at the highlights like, wait, hold on. Is that the same
cat that was just here
in our locker room? So to me, and people, like I said, I'm no expert, but like people forget things like that. But I don't. Like when I see certain players leave our team, playmakers, and they're out there on other teams getting down the field and doing XYZ. I'm like, hold on now. Do we know how to use these guys that we are getting? Same thing with Curtis Samuel. I said all last year. I know he battled some health injuries, but like, you mean to tell me we can't scheme Curtis Samuel open, or we wait until we play in the playoffs and we play
Yeah,
them?
it's weird to me because and then people complain about Keon so much, but honestly, it feels like they haven't running the same route every time. They just
Right.
throwing nothing but back shoulders to him.
Yeah.
Low percentage play to begin with. So like, we not gonna use the middle of the field at all for this man. Like, we not gonna do anything to open up the middle of the field and allow him to work in the space.
Shit,
Like,
line up in the backfield and have him run out. Like, it's, and I was watching.
Khalil Shakir has shown that he can be a downfield threat, but he doesn't get the ball past 6 yards at this point.
Right.
He's a snap and throw cat right now. So it's like, yo, I need this scheme to evolve. Like, yo, do you trust your quarterback drop back and throw?
Yeah.
You have the best player in the league, in my opinion. Let that man go back there and let his receivers be receivers. So like, yo, what are we doing?
And you got a very good offensive line. So it's like, when I got me an elite quarterback and I have me what's been for the last 2 years at least a pretty elite offensive line. I know they're better run blocking than pass blocking, but they're pretty solid. And I know Josh buys time and he does all of that, but like, we're not talking about Josh playing behind a broken offensive line. Like, we're talking about a pretty sturdy offensive line. So you mean to tell me they can't give that man 2 to 2.5 seconds to get a route 15, 20 yards down the field where like Khalil Shakir is in motion and catching the ball on a run, on a slant, Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, like Elijah Moore, like those 4 guys right there. If I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm not saying I got 4 Isaac Bruce's out there or Chris Carter's, but like, I can find ways to get Khalil Shakir the ball down the field. I can find ways to get my 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver, 21-year-old, and Keon Coleman. I can find ways to get him the ball where he's catching it on the run. Like, those are the types of things where I'm like, Joe Brady, hey man, you got off to a great start. When you took the role and you were running the ball and doing all of those things, that's nice. You have shown that you can scheme up ways to get James Cook in between tackles and get him, doing whatever, running the ball. So great. You have helped the run game improve since you took over. Now what I need from Joe Brady in this second portion of the season, and I really call it the meat and potatoes of this season because we're not even really in the second half of the year yet, but like in the guts of this schedule, this is when you need to be able to say, hey, we need more from our receivers, and maybe I need to do more for my receivers to help him and Josh out so that we're not stuck in second and long, third and long, and now Josh got to stand in the pocket and scramble sideline to sideline and either take a hit or now it's putting the ball in danger, because I think the interceptions have really went up because Josh is like looking out on the field like, what are we doing? We running these weak ass routes and you expect me to just throw a 50-50 ball and live off that. That should not be the offense. This, like, a 50-50 ball to me is when you inside the 5-yard line and like maybe on first or second down, you want to throw a quick one to Coleman. Cool. I can live with that. But we throwing 50-50 balls at the 32-yard line with 67 yards to go. Like, what? That's not offense. So I'm more
against
so,
AJ Terrell. Like, that's when you decide to do a back shoulder throw when you're going against the top tier corner. Like, it's not making sense to me. Like, right now, the offense is still disjointed, and like, as bad as the defense has played,
bro, they've kept you in some.
They kept you in the game. No, that's what I'm saying. They kept you in the game. I need my offense to be able to step in. Defense, you having a rough day. You gave up 24. Cool, I got you. Let me go drop my 28. Let me go drop my 30 and hold y'all down. But like, y'all have too good of talent on offense to be this mediocre looking. You do not need to have Tampa Bay's receivers or Cincinnati's receivers to be productive in this offense. I think this is more of a scheme situation than pure talent.
100%. And that's why I said, like, I'm not telling people you're wrong for wanting Shaheed, Olave, all those guys. You can want all of that, but let's also address that if you do get that, what is your coordinator going to do with that piece?
Yeah, because what I'm saying now, too, what I see, you see Diggs been kind of going off this season. This is post ACL, and in this offense, that last season, that second half of the season, next to nothing.
Yeah.
So you telling me that this scheme is not flawed in some capacity? Because you have still a relatively good receiver that struggled in this offense. You got other receivers that are struggling in this offense. So at what point do you realize, like, maybe it's not a talent issue, but more of a schematic issue, or a play calling issue, or a flow issue? And again, your best player all season has been James Cook, and he's not been in a feature piece in these last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And both them games been L's.
Yeah, especially in key moments. Like I still go back to, I rewatched some of that game, against the Falcons, and I'm like, okay, we gave him the ball on certain drives 6-7 times. I'm like, cool. But then, like, again, it's just like a basketball player. I'm a big basketball fan. If I go away from Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter after letting him drop 25 after the third quarter, I'm fucking up as a coach, because I need to be drawing up some plays to get him in some pick and roll situations, getting him off a couple screens so he can get a couple wide open looks at the hoop. I'm messing up as a coach if I'm letting Jalen Brunson only take 2 shots in the fourth quarter. And that's equivalent to what we're doing with James Cook, is where in key moments, we like, nah, we waving him off. Now I'm going to go this way. I'm going to throw it to OG in the post, where he, that's not what he needs to be doing. I'm going to just, go ahead, whoever you can think of, and just back your man down for 10 seconds on the shot clock and throw something up if you got a nice look. Like, no, use your bread and butter. If your bread and butter is James Cook and he just got you 7 points, which he did on that one drive in the third quarter, go back to that, but also mix it up. Now, if he get going, now I can play action, boom, across the middle for 12 yards. Now I get him going again. Play action, deep shot. Now we down the field, 40-yard chunk. Like, I know some fans are split between where they want to point the fingers. I mean, I'm getting McDermott, hey, he got to get fired. Joe Brady, go ahead. Like, to me, everything, and I think this is why Josh is a little bit more upbeat than people think he should be coming out the bye, because I think even Josh can look at the film and say, man, if we can do this, if we can go back to what works. I mean, he said it in the past before. Like, this ain't the first time our offense has struggled under Josh Allen. Like, it seemed like every year, the last 6-7 years, there's been a little bit of that bump.
Mm-hmm.
And go back to asking the same questions, and on the radio, they talking about the same shit. We need to go get that. We need to get that. And they asking Josh, what do we need to do? And Josh be always like, hey, man, we need to go back to what's working with this player. We need to go back to what's working. How can we get that flow? How can we get in that rhythm? Rhythm is always brought up because Josh is a rhythm quarterback. Josh can't play Superman for 4 quarters and expect to win a football game. I've very rarely, under Josh's tenure with the Bills, have I seen him play superhero ball for 4 quarters and that led to a victory. Most games, when he come out and his pads all fucked up and he's getting knocked to the ground 4 or 5 times, those are games that we normally lose, because now he's having to be Houdini. And the games where he's being efficient, and when I say efficient, I don't mean just 4-yard passes, checkdowns. I'm saying when when they look like they have a plan offensively, those are those games where it's like, wow, look at this offense go. Look at James Cook. Look at Dawson Knox. Look at Dawson. Hey, look at Shakir. Look at Keon. Like, we humming. And it doesn't have to be because we playing a lesser opponent. To me, it's, can we call the right plays at the right times? Can we be, can we put our foot down? I mean, be that dominant team. Act like you got the MVP. Act like you got one of the best running backs.
Act like you got the juice. Like, yo, it's been there, done that. Be the better team. Like, granted, the games aren't played by the spread, but you ain't covered the spread in 2 weeks or since week 2. Like, yo, go be the team you're supposed to be. Yes, Carolina's been playing better. Yes, they have a winning record. At the end of the day, Carolina should not be in this game. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like, Carolina, yes, they're improving. They're getting better. Yeah, I hear that. Carolina versus Buffalo in 2025 should not be a close matchup.
Yeah. You got to send a statement. And I get it. 6-7 weeks ago, we wouldn't have been calling this a statement game. But I look at it as a statement game.
It has to be. Bro, you lose this game, you staring 500 in the face. Because you lose to Carolina, and then you got Kansas City next week. You looking at 4-4.
Yeah, and it's going to be some major changes if they do that. I'm telling you right now, somebody going to be the scapegoat. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's going to be a couple players being benched. I don't know if it's going to be a coaching move, but like, it's going.
I already think they quietly benching Rat.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and he got some knee
He got an
surgery.
injury coming out. Yeah,
Yeah.
he been dealing with
Oh,
it since training camp, but ain't never been on the injury report.
I know what that means. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, come have a seat, Taylor.
Yo, come here.
Yeah,
I'll
come
sit
have
right
a
next
seat.
to you. Let's give Hancock and Poyer a try. Because honestly, at this point, what are you missing out if you put one of those two out there, Hancock or Poyer? I don't care. I'd much rather see the young guy, but I can see them leaning towards Poyer just based off of experience and tackling.
Yeah.
But
I think at this point, I agree with you. I'd rather have a Hancock, but then I'm like, do I really want a first year and a second year player man in the safeties? Like, do I want to lean with a little bit more experience and one? Because I expected Rap to be that. I expected Bishop to be the young cat who gonna make some mistakes, but Rap to be the wily vet to hold everything together. But he been the wild one. Like, bro, what are
you doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, man, listen, don't get me started. Since we only got about 14, 15 minutes left, due to some obligations beforehand, what do you feel like is a key matchup in this game? Like what group are you looking at, or what individual matchup?
I'm gonna put it like this. As much as I hate saying it, this is a run and stop the run game. You need to establish Cook, plain and simple.
Yeah.
In the passing game and in the running game. Let your best players be their best players. This needs to be a Cook and Kincaid game. Let your best players be their best players. And Buffalo, I mean, whether they playing Andy Dalton or they playing Bryce Young, Carolina's going to come and try to run the ball. Plain and simple. Rico Dowdle's been balling. They have Chuba Hubbard, who's a good back. He ain't been doing nothing crazy this season, but he's still a good back. Right. So, and you got a halfway decent O-line, probably even above average O-line that's coming in here. So they're going to try to run the ball. So what you going to do? You had to get them out of what they want to do. Because if Andy Dalton has to drop back 35 times a game,
we win.
Yeah, I don't like the prospects for Carolina if he has to be the guy to win the game.
You got Xavier Squirrel Leggett running routes and trying to get open versus Benford. Like I'll take my chances with that.
Yeah, they got some young receivers. They young.
I like the McMillan cat.
Yeah, McMillan, he balling. Xavier Leggett ain't really.
Now that's the one. That's the one that we can't let that mother not even sneak up, but we can't let the young dude, violate CB2. I'll just call it that. Whoever they're gonna have lined up over there, whether it's Jamarcus, whether it's Tre'Davious.
I don't know. They put Jamarcus out there last time, and that ain't look great either. So
yeah, I know. That's why
I'm just like, yo,
Max, hurry up.
Listen, I know they want to get Maxwell up to speed and make sure it got no go defense. At this point, I'm like, yo, bro, is your knee good? your knee good? All right, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Let's roll. Yeah, fuck all that. Fuck if he might not know the scheme. He ain't practiced since training camp, bro. Is your knee good? If the answer is yes, bro, strap up.
Yeah, it's most likely gonna be Kansas City the week after that. But
and at this point, it's probably gonna be Miami because I doubt they throw them to straight into Kansas City. But how else you gonna learn? Sink or swim, playboy.
That's a fact because they gonna come in. Kansas City coming in with so much speed.
Yeah, they need it. But at the end of the day, he played in the SEC. You done played top end receivers before, so this ain't the first time you done met half these cats before. Like you done seen Worthy before. You done seen some of these other cats. Yeah, let this dude get out there and play. At this point, that's all I care about. Scheme, yeah, all right, we'll figure it out. Have Poyer tell him to play every play, bro. This is what you got to do on this play. I don't care. At this point, ain't nothing to lose.
Yeah. So what I want to really quickly get on though, and we'll see how the Bills match this up. I think it's really front seven versus kind of what you mentioned. They're two running back system. I think you might see that split down the middle. You might see more of Rico, but
I hope we don't see more Rico because I think he's a better back right now.
Right, but I think our front seven has to make a statement. And like I said, second half of last game, kudos because I thought they finally were getting after the running back. They were finally getting after the quarterback. Shout out to Deion Walker and Ed Oliver. I think them two together, that's the future. That's the next, hopefully the next 8 to 10 years.
But again, even this one, you got to figure out what that even looked like because Daquan Jones, more than likely, week to week, he's not playing. You got Ogunjobi coming back, but you got Ogunjobi, you got Oliver, and you got Deion Walker. That's it. Yeah. Ain't nobody else on the roster. So somebody got to come up.
Yeah, and that's what I said. If my starting group, let's say they, put out the regular, Greg Rousseau, Bosa, and if I got Ed Oliver and Dion starting, and then behind it I got Ogunjobi, Michael Hoyt, Epinesa. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but if I got that group out there, to back up Ed Oliver, Dion, Bosa, Greg Rousseau, I I need them to make some shit happen. And I know Matt Milano and Bernard, they've been questionable, but I think they were listed as day to day. So I expect them possibly to pay. I mean, they may wait another week for Milano and then just have him suit up versus Kansas City because I think Shaq Thompson, I don't care who out there, I think Shaq Thompson is going to be on the field,
He's
point
been their best linebacker this
blank.
season.
Yeah. So I expect Shaq Thompson to be on the field, but I really, that's the matchup I'm looking at is I want to see, and I'm not even going to say linebackers versus, I want to see the front seven get after it. Tackles for losses, batting passes. I want to see it all.
Yeah, I'm at the point now too. I'm ready to get back in the nickel pretty much full time.
Me too. I was about to say I kind of want to see
like,
Terrence Johnson out there.
Listen, y'all been trying to play a little bit heavier and a little bit more base. One person who's always in position, Terrence Johnson.
Right.
In the run game, he knows how to be in his hole. He knows how to fill the lane. So this team might just need to be a nickel all the time. It might just be their best play. So
might be the adjustment that we see. And like I said, if that takes Bernard off the field, I mean, if that takes whoever off the field, Milano, Shaq, I don't know. But
that's fine.
I agree. I would prefer for the rest of the season if we go 75-80% nickel. The base is cool on those short situations, 3rd and 2, 2nd and 1, all that. I get it. But like 1st down and 10, let's get that nickel back out there. 2nd down and 10, once again, let's get that nickel back out there. 3rd and long, you already know. So like, I agree. I definitely want to see more Terrence Johnson. And like I said, does that take away, snaps from Milano and Shaq? Cool. Bernard, I'm gonna try to trust you in pass coverage. I think Bernard is still, even with his up and down season so far, he's still our best in coverage at the linebacker position. Being able to diagnose, certain routes. I still need Bernard out there probably 100% of the time as long as he's healthy. But as far as who is linebacker 2 or 3, you can do whatever you want to do. Terrence Johnson, I agree, needs to be on the field a lot more for the rest of this year because they've proven whether it's 3 linebackers or 12 linebackers, these motherfuckers not tackling like we used to seeing. And Terrence Johnson has been one of your top 2 best tacklers since he's been with the team. So that front 7, I'm going to include Terrence Johnson in there because I want to see them take away that run early. And kind of like you mentioned, let's make Andy Dalton throw that ball around 25, 30 times, even though we know that's not going to be in a game plan. But if you force him in to 2nd and 12, and if you force him in the 3rd and long, they're not going to have a choice. And that's when I want to see Greg Rousseau, Bosa, and Oliver. It should be a big Ed Oliver game. Should be a big Deion Walker game. I told you from the jump, I'm a big Deion Walker believer. So if he can continue making that climb, I'm a happy man because that means, now I'm getting closer to believing this might be the D tackle of the future, which I think he's already kind of proven, but I like where it's headed with him. Now I'm looking at the time again. I do want to quickly say, where this game falls. I know the spread 7.5, 8.
7.5 last I saw.
Yeah, it looked kind of crazy, but man, how you feeling? Score prediction wise.
I'm giving the Bills the benefit of the doubt that the Bills are still the Bills team they're supposed to be.
Okay.
So I think this is the game they do actually cover the spread. I'm going 31-24.
31-24. Okay. So 7, right 7 on the dot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, 31-23.
31-23.
Cover that spread.
Just covering it. Yeah, I like that. I think this is a statement game. So I expect Bills to kind of control the line of scrimmage on both sides. So my prediction was going to be 27-17. I think that 30-point mark, might not get eclipsed this week. I think they'll save it for Kansas City, and maybe a little bit of a shootout there. But I think they get 27 on them boys. Because I do respect, what they got going on defensively. You know, J.C. Horn, Derek Brown up front. You know, they
got some boys,
got some dogs up there. So I do expect them to not make it easy, but I feel like the Bills will come out in that first half with enough spark to kind of make them play catch up. And I think that's where we get kind of like a little bit of gap. And I think we hold on in the end with a nice 10-point lead. So I got Bills 27-17 with big days from James Cook. I think Keon Coleman has a big day as well, just because I feel like they are going to come out of this bye with some answers to some of those, you know, things that we kind of talked about. So I got 27-17 Bills. So
yeah, they need to find an answer to the blitz. That's what we've seen the last couple of weeks. Lots of blitzes with no answers. After a week off, they better have some answers. And I expect them to. That's why I pick what I pick. I expect to have some answers. I expect this to be a week where the offense clicks.
Yep.
And they lean into what they good at.
Well, Brady, all eyes on you, on mine.
100%. I'm with you.
I ain't looking at Josh any type of way. I'm not looking at James Cook no type of way. I ain't even looking at Keon no kind of way.
Like it's you, Joe.
Yeah, we
your know, ass right now, Joe.
We pretty much know what kind of athlete, I'll just say, Keon is. So, like, for me, if you got a 6'4", 220-pound guy who runs a 4.5 or whatever he runs, find different ways to get him in areas where he can catch that ball and get upfield. Because these motherfuckers don't really want to tackle him. They're good at, like, trying to bat down a fade and all of that shit because they're not calling pass interference on those corners against him. So, cool. But guess what? Have them tackle that motherfucker when he running at them and he make one of them miss. He's proven he can do that. So, I'm looking for that light adjustment. But I do want to pick my one. I'll just do one this time since we short on time. I do want to pick my one upset of the week. We've been pretty good with this. At least one of us have been pretty good with this overall. So there's some decent games on here I'm seeing. Some decent ones on here. Man, oh man, now I'm really thinking now.
I got mine. It's both teams trash.
Yeah,
but I got the Jets beating Cincinnati. As bad of a team that they are.
That would be an upset, though.
They gotta get a win eventually. Cincinnati's still rolling out Joe Flacco. It's good for a couple weeks, but the Jets, they gotta find a win, and I think this is probably one of the most winnable games they have left on their schedule, other than Miami. So I think the Jets somehow, some way, figure out a way to win this game. I say that with no conviction.
Okay.
I'm not beating my chest with that.
Yeah, nah. So I'll go with mine, and I'll probably go with not the most exciting game of the week, but you know, D'Amico Ryan's got some ties. I believe in San Francisco still. You know, with some of the people over there. I got Houston at home beating San Francisco.
I'm surprised Houston a favorite for this game, to be honest.
Yeah, and we don't know why. I mean, I can't tell you why, because I mean, San Francisco, even with Mac Jones, to me, have played very good football. Like they just, once again, they move like a machine. You know,
San Francisco find a way to win.
Right, but that to me, that goes back to our coaching discussion, which, you know, I don't have to elaborate too much on, but they just know how to scheme shit open, right?
Yeah,
they know how to find Christian McCaffrey. It don't matter. Everybody
with backup quarterbacks at that.
Right. It's stop McCaffrey. Cool. He still got 30 touches. You like, what the hell?
You got Mac Jones looking like a quarterback.
Coaching.
That's the most QB-friendly system I've ever seen in my life. But that goes to show you can scheme stuff up.
Exactly, 100%.
It's doable.
Man, listen, don't get me started.
And you down your top 2 or 3 receivers.
Yeah.
Ain't no Ayuk. Pearsall's been down, and Jennings been hurt.
Coach.
And y'all still making it work. But anyways, this will be the short and sweet version. So we gonna just kind of shut this down, transition into getting ready for next week. So again, we appreciate y'all rocking with us for another week. This is In the Zone with V and Z. If you get a chance, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We appreciate anything y'all can do for us. We love rocking with y'all for another week.
Yes, sir, man. Big week coming up because, like I said, man, 5-6 weeks ago, we did not think this game was going to be that big, but it is big now, and we got to take
shit.
Yeah, we got to take care of business, and I'm holding out hope. You know, I mean, I'm staying faithful, staying trustful.
Keep hope alive. Yeah. But safe travels. Anybody heading down to Charlotte this weekend? Get there safe, have fun, show your colors, man. I know it's going to be crazy in that stadium, but we appreciate y'all. I'm Z.
I'm Val.
We'll see y'all next week.
Peace out. Go Bills, baby. Go Bills.